Okay, so today is the 5th of August. I've completed our first book for the Childhood-A-Thon, The Dark Stairs by Betsy Byers. I gave this 4.5 carats. I've read this several times. This is the beginning novel of the Herculia Jones mystery series. You're following Herculia Jones. You're getting an introduction to her and her best friend Meat. Meat looks out for her. There's a little bit of like fat phobia in here. Like, it talks about how large he is, how the only thing that he knows about himself is that he's fat, and this, that, and the third and the other, which I think is just a topic of the time, but I wish she had been a bit more forward thinking. But essentially, her mom is a private investigator and her dad is a lieutenant, and they're divorced because he thinks that only police should handle police work and yada yada yada. A man shows up, this giant behemoth of a man shows up at the house and wants her mom to do something, but her mom won't tell her what it is. And she gets this thing where once she knows there's something that she wants to know, she must know it. To the point to where it's almost incredibly dangerous curiosity. There's this old house in the neighborhood where everybody says the guy died, but nobody's been able to find his body. And there's a clause in his will that the house can't be sold until his funeral. And since they can't find a body, there's not a funeral. And the guy essentially wants to know if the guy is dead and where his body is. And then the whole story kind of shoots off from there. Reading this gave me a lot of nostalgia. I remember reading this with the bag and book and tape from the library. So, like, reading it, my brain literally conjured up the sound of certain things from the audio cassette. So that was an interesting experience. But all finished, 4.5 carats, very, very good, thoroughly enjoyed it. I am currently working on Tarot Says Beware, which is the second book in the series. I am 19 pages in. And then I've also made some progress in my other books. I am 40% into How to Make a Horror Movie and Survive by Craig DeLuey. It's kind of a wild ride. You're essentially following this producer, director, Max, and he watched his dad die, and that, like, started his, like, entry into horror. And he was making these movies, but feels like his art is being, like, laughed at. It's not as forward thinking, as progressive as he wanted it to be. So he comes across this old film reel of this older movie called Mary's Birthday or something like that, where, like, everybody that was ever included in the production is dead. And the guy that was making the movie actually filmed some of the death. And he's like, this is real horror for horror, only real horror is horror, or something to that effect. And it's essentially just a kind of a cheesy expose into, like, what makes horror, overlaid over this, like, fictional story. It's very interesting. It hasn't really popped off yet. But a lot of interesting things have occurred, so I'm still very much enthralled. I hit 32% in the arc for the month in the event of Murder by Cynthia Kuhn. The character that I hated from the first one is still prevalent in this one, so that's very fucking annoying. I was really hoping that she would die, but it is what it is. We already have our dead body, but there doesn't seem to be much of a investigation into it. In fact, it's almost kind of at the back burner. I feel like we got our dead body 2 to 3 to 4 chapters ago, and nothing has really, like, been done about it. Nobody's asking any questions. Nobody's done any investigation. It's just kind of odd. So yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else book related I want to tell you. I think that's everything about what I'm reading, but Schneal and I went to Barnes & Noble today, and we left with no books. There wasn't a single book that we were like, ooh, we must have. So, I don't know what that says. It's super annoying. Sarah wants the book girlies club pick for this month to be Heads Will Roll by Joss Winning, but we can't fucking find it anywhere. We've literally been to 3 Barnes and Nobles and 2 half-price books and 2 indie bookstores, and nobody has it. So at this point, I guess I'll just wait for it to come in on my library hold, because I don't know. But yeah, that's everything that I've been reading so far, and I will catch up with you next time. Peace. Okay, so I spent a few hours getting my hair done with Chenille, and in the meantime, she let me borrow some books from her library, and here's what I read. I read Sweat and Soap Volumes 1 and 2. I freaking loved it. It may not be her type of perversion, but it is my type of perversion. Gave them both 5 carats. I picked up Persephone Hades' Torment because I actually own it, and it's still completely shrink-wrapped. It was amazing. So freaking short. Gave it 5 carats. The next one I read was Yakuza Lover. I picked this up originally before and I wasn't feeling it, but I guess I needed to read it physically because it was bomb. I gave it 4.5 carats. And Put Your Hands on My Lady and Die vibes, always good. This was the first one I read, and this is from the Red Light District. If you know, you know. It was not good at all. I gave it no carats. And then this is volume 2 of Me and My Beast Boss. And I gave this 5 carats because I thought it was so cute, and I can't wait to see what's next. Hey. Let's finish Tarot Says Beware. We are 107 pages in. There are 151 pages in it. Can we get a little round of applause for the bookmark? It's everything. Half a picture makes him look real suspicious. Not Dear Abby. What a sign of the times. Geronimo, get down. Sit in the chair, but not on my desk. Good boy. This is why I can't get no reading done. Oh, interesting. I'm sorry, Mo. This don't make no sense. Yep. It's a trap. No, relax. Yep. I do it. Oh my god, that's terrible. That's like homicidal for a freaking kids book. This kind of spooky. Dang, that's nuts. I am fucking crying. Not you have to work on your screams if you expect me to hear you. That is the quote for the book. The whole book, that's the quote. A mess. She almost died and you're out there looking for a dog? The nurse did her best to talk me out of Herculia. I sometimes wish I had listened to her. Why? I like my name. Because, my darling daughter, you're beginning to live up to it. Complete! Herculia Jones, Book 2, totally done. I'm going to give this one 4.5 carats. Essentially, she has neighbor, Madame Rosa. She's a fortune teller. She has a bird named Taro, and Taro says beware to everyone that he meets other than Madame Rosa. She cares a lot for this parrot. She's not going anywhere without the parrot, right? So Herculia comes home one day. Parrot is out and about in the street. That would never happen. Herculia takes the parrot back to the house. The house door is open. The stove is on. But there's no Madame Rosa. And then right when she finds Madame Rosa, she is dead. So Herculia has come upon a dead body. and she and her friend meet, are going to solve the mystery, but realizes that it gets a lot more dangerous because there's a killer that's out and about. Homicidal maniac about. And has not been found, and so forth and so on. The beginning was a little dry, but it definitely picked up, and the end was kind of spooky for a kid's book, so highly, highly recommend. The next book on our list is Dead Letter, which is book 3. Let's see what we can get into. Bye! Hey, I went to the library. Let's talk about it. If you see any clips that have my rollers, it's bedtime, alright? Do not judge me. But if I don't film this now, I know I'm going to forget tomorrow, and it'll be a whole nother day that I will have missed. So here we are. Let's get into it. So, start by the library, picked up a few things. First thing I want to talk about is Hollow. It's written by Shannon Waters, Brennan Boyer White, and Bernice Nell. Cover looks like this, and it is about a girl who is related directly to, who is related to Crane, like Ichabod Crane from the stories. It's a reimagining, it's a graphic novel, and color looks great. I saw it, knew I needed to read it, especially since it's beginning to become spooky time. Ogtober is upon us, okay? The next thing that I picked up is Villains Maleficent. I love Maleficent, so I saw she had a graphic novel. Why would I not read it? That one is written by Sue Lee. The next thing that I picked up is called Man-Made Monsters. I've heard Lala from Lala Reads say good things about this, so I'm excited to see what's going on. This is written by Andrea L. Rogers. The next thing that I picked up is called Portrait of a Shadow by Miriam Matui. I don't know what this is about, but look at that cover. Is it not the most stunning cover you've ever seen? I have no idea what's going on in this. I picked it up on the cover alone, and I will devour it. It looks directly up my alley. The next book I picked up is Militia, Steven Dos Santos, and this is the largest and now defunct theme park. It's dedicated to all things horror, and there was like a massacre, and now they're going there on the anniversary. So I'm excited about that. The next one I picked up is The Ones Who Come Back Hungry by Amalinda Berube. I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. I don't know what this is about, but essentially a girl's sister dies. She's trying to grieve, and then all of a sudden her sister is back, but she's not quite the same. She's hungry, she needs human blood, and things of that nature. So sounds like a good time to me. The next thing I picked up is called Vincent. This is book 1, Guide to Love, Magic, and RPG by Vitor Kafagi, and it is about, I believe, a dog. This is just my babe dog. Yeah, I think it's about a dog who plays RPGs. I don't know. The art is adorable. The next thing I picked up is Mary. It's called The Adventures of Mary Shelley's great granddaughter. How could I leave it behind? Is related to Mary Shelley, and realizes that even though she's not a writer, she has another power, which is to heal monsters, and then the story takes off from there. I don't really want to know what else is going on. I read to that part in the synopsis and was like, yes, I'm going to take that home with me. So if you want to learn more, just look it up. Written by Bria Grant, and the art is by Yashan Lee. The next thing that I picked up is called Livewire Fugitive by Vita Ayala, Raul Allen, Patricia Martin, Seda Temofonte. I believe I'm saying that right. By Valiant. And I don't know if this is like DC's Livewire, but we got a black girl. She's got like psyop powers, and this collects issues 1 through 4, so I'm here for it. The next thing that I picked up getting close to the bottom, is called Castle Full of Blackbirds. This is from the world of Hellboy. I've never read Hellboy, but I saw that cover, and I knew that wasn't something that I could leave behind. It's written by Mignola, Slatter, Berzo, and Madsen. And this follows Sarah Mae Blackburn. Sarah Mae Blackburn. So if you were a Hellboy fan, this is what that book covers. The next book I got is Batman White Knight Presents Harley Quinn by Katana Collins, Sean Murphy, Mateo Scalera, and Dave Stewart. In the back it says, Batman is behind bars, and a new age of villains, only Harley can save Gotham. So, sounds interesting to me. The next one that I picked up is called Age Matters. The story and the art is done by Angelicious, and it says that she is a hopeless romantic who's turning 30 and is not super happy about it, and he's a reclusive billionaire who's hired her to be his cook, and he's not too happy about that either. Together they rewrite the rules of friendship, love, work, and the acceptable way to clean someone's apartment. This collects episodes 1 through 15 of the hit romance webtoon Age Matters. The next book that I have is called Age 16. It's done by Rosanna Fung. And it's basically about like a timeline of different characters at the age of 16. But I don't know if they're all the same people or if they're related to the same people or what have you. I'm not sure. But I think it's very interesting. And then the last book that I don't have in my hand to show you but is downstairs, I believe is called Roaming. And it is done by the Tamaki sisters. I'm going to put it up here. I have no clue what it's about, but I saw the art and I like the way that it was bound. So I picked it up. So I had just cleared out the library shelf and now it's full again. It be what it be. Alrighty, tomorrow my typewriter comes. I have some fun activities to go with that, and hopefully you'll come join me. And I will see you in the next clip. Sleuth out. Welcome back. I have another library haul for you. So I know I was just at the library last week, but Boy Wonder had some holds come in, and he was like, well, I know you were just at the library, but do you want to go to the library with me? I have some holds. And I'm like, yeah. I'm never going to turn down the opportunity to go to the library. Literally never. I'm never going to turn down the opportunity to go look at books. I literally go into Kroger and look at the books that they have for sale there. So, I got more books to talk to you about. Let's get into it. The first things is I picked up volumes 1, 2, and 3 of Oshinoko by Aka Akasaka and Mango Yokoyari. That's volume 1, volume 2, and volume 3. And essentially it's about like an OBGYN who is obsessed with this idol, Ai Hoshino, but they're brought together and their fates become intertwined in ways that defy all reason. So, I'm excited about that. The tagline is, in show business, lies are a weapon. I don't want to read the back of these because one has already told me that there's been a murder, so I don't want any more spoilers, but that's what these are. The next thing I picked up was the final act of Juliet Willoughby by Ellery Lloyd. It looks like this. Can we get a little commotion for the cover? Like, that's fucking gorgeous. And essentially, there's a artist who supposedly died in a studio fire along with her masterpiece, but 50 years later, 2 art history students come across proof that the fire was no accident. And I love a cold case. Especially one that you didn't know was a cold case. Everybody thinks that it's solved and they move on with their lives. And then 2 teenagers or adults that have too much time and not enough supervision get to be a little bit nosy. And then a whole mystery blooms from that. I eat that shit up. I eat that shit up. So excited for this. The next thing that I picked up is called Mortal Radiance by Catherine Lasky. And now this looks like it might not be my vibe. I understand. I'm sure you're a touch confused. However, the top of it says a Georgia O'Keeffe mystery. Now, if you're asking yourself why that name sounds familiar, Georgia O'Keeffe was a real person. They were a painter, a very, very famous painter. And this author just decided, you know what? What if Georgia O'Keeffe was an amateur sleuth? I'm gonna write that. And here we are. And as a lover of unconventional mysteries, I'm gonna eat this shit up. I'm so excited. Next, I picked up Mason Mooney, Paranormal Investigator. Cover looks like this. I'm so excited. It says that Mason Mooney is the world's greatest paranormal investigator. That's what he thinks anyway. He's on a mission to prove that he's the best around. Much better than the stinky paranormal society. So when he gets a letter asking him to help the residents of Grimbrook's very own haunted house, he knows this could be his big chance. But with an evil curse looming over him and the house's inhabitants, is Mason a bit out of his depth? Or is this just the challenge he needs to finally see some sense? So that sounds like a fun time. The next thing that I picked up is called Prunella and the Cursed Skull Ring by Matthew Liu. It looks like a fun time. I don't know what the hell this is about. I got a skeleton girl with a bow in her hair and some type of adventure. I didn't need much else. The next thing that I picked up is called Escape from Mr. Limoncello's Library, a graphic novel by Chris Grabenstein, illustrated by Douglas Holgate. Looks like this. It looks like a lot of freaking fun to me. The next thing that I got, oh, I did good this time, guys. There's only 3 books left. So the next one I got is Mary Downing Hahn, and it's called All the Lovely Bad Ones, and it is a ghost story graphic novel. And then I got Chibi Usagi, Attack of the Heebie-Chibis by Julie and Stan Sakai. Look how freaking cute they are. I'm so freaking excited. And the back says, The Rich World of Usagi Yojimbo, now more accessible to readers of all ages in this chibi-style original graphic novel. Yojimbo? I remember seeing those books on the shelves and thinking, man, that looks so serious. I don't know if I'm really into that, even though it's like a rabbit samurai, which should absolutely be up my alley. Were you made for me or what? The last book that I picked up, is this really it? Even I'm like, dang, I really didn't get that many things. Okay, last book is called The Pale Queen by Ethan M. Aldrich. It looks like this. I don't know what it's about, but the back of it says, be careful with whom you share your dreams. It can become a nightmare. And this is also a graphic novel. And I'm very excited to get into it. So those are all of the books that I picked up from the library. So let's talk a little bit about what I'm reading since we're popping in. I'm currently still working on Dead Letter by Betsy Byers and How to Make a Horror Movie and Survive by Craig DeLuey. I'm reading this digitally because my audiobook went back, but I was about 44% in, and now I'm 53% in. So we are sailing. He's gone off the deep end. Max is officially off his rocker now, and we just hit 50%. So I can't wait to see what the rest of this book is about, because I'm so excited. In Dead Letter, so far, all we know is that Herculia gets called, not physically called, but like emotionally called to this old jacket that she finds at the thrift shop in her area, and she buys the coat. The coat is a perfect fit. And while she's talking to Meat, she realizes that there is something in the liner of the coat. And the coat, she opens the liner, and there is a letter, a little note. And she is freaked out. Okay, I'm just going to read you this little bit. "Give me a minute," Herculia said. She took another deep breath. "I feel like someone's holding me by the throat and I can't get air down to where I need it." "Well, it's catching. I feel bad too. Read it, or at least tell me what it says." When she didn't answer, Meat held out his hand. "Then give me the paper and let me read the note." "It's not a note. It's like a letter. The most important letter anyone could ever write." "May I see it?" Watching her, he added through his teeth, "Please." She handed over the sheet of paper. Meat squinted at it. "I don't see how you can make it out." "I can't." He held it under the lamp. "I cannot make out one single word." "I can read them all," she said. She held out her hand. It was trembling. He put the sheet of paper in it, and she began to read. "I don't want to die. I can't die. He's going to kill me, I know it. He keeps coming to the door. I've been a prisoner for days. There's no window. I don't know day from night. I shouldn't have signed. Now there's no reason not to kill me. He's back. Look inside." And then it cuts off. I must know what's going on. Like, when it comes to mysteries and wanting to know every detail and getting like enthralled and pulled in, I am exactly like Herculia. As soon as I realize that there's something that I want to know, I must know it. This has already zoomed off because the end of Tarot Says Beware was so much better than the beginning. It had a very slow start, and I think Miss Byers was like, "Okay, I'm gonna speed it up a little bit for you," because we are 3 chapters in. That was page 2 of chapter 3, and already what is happening? The intrigue, the mystery. Did they die? Did they get killed? Are they still in this room with no window? I need to know. So I'm absolutely loving this. I think that's everything. I am gonna go read this now, and I will see you guys in the next clip. Sleuth out. Bye. FedEx, count your fucking days. So this is my typewriter. I'm in love with it. I'm so excited to start using it. But FedEx essentially jerked me around for 2 extra days. And then when it got delivered and I opened it, it was fucking cracked. The right-hand panel was off. Bits and pieces of it were inside its case. And the box and everything that said fragile all over it, bent. FedEx is literally the worst shipper ever. It still functions though. I'm so excited to bring you along on my journey because the entire reason that I bought a typewriter was because I've decided that I'm going to write a mystery novel. I read them, I love them, I adore them, and now I'm ready to contribute my own story. I was so frustrated with the typewriter that I forgot to film an outro. Thanks so much again for listening to me ramble. I'm Gabs, this is the Ink Bunny, and I will see you next time in the next week of the Childhood-A-Thon. Sleuth out.